Join the conversation in Tipperary. Contact us through Facebook, Twitter or email tiptoday@tippfm.com.
And you're very welcome back, and it's time to talk about interior design. Karen Prendergast is with me in studio. Good morning to you, Karen.
Good morning, good morning to the listeners.
And good to see you today. We're going to start with living rooms, and I suppose that's where we spend most of our time. So what about making it feel more comfortable, making it feel maybe a bit bigger?
Yeah, definitely, and that's a question I get asked a lot. So I suppose the biggest part of making any room look bigger, and we're talking about living room, is we're going to say declutter. So that's really important. If you haven't got enough of storage, you get some storage. Maybe clear out the storage that you have already. Not this weekend, but the weekend before, the long weekend, I did a lot of clearing out. Genuinely, brochures that were old that I needed for work and that kind of thing, and went through clothes and so forth. And I had a kind of a backlog of clothes a little bit, so I had to clear out. But by clearing out, I could see what I definitely wanted to keep and not keep, and make room for summer clothes and that kind of thing. So storage is really important. Lighting is key, and we'll probably touch on it a few times this morning. Lighting is key. Make sure that you have enough of light in the room. If you feel that your furniture might be in the wrong position, I often get call outs for that people say to me, look, my room, I feel the furniture, we might be able to do a bit better. I'm not sure what I need to do. Maybe move your furniture around. If you have a rug and it's been hanging around a while, maybe change up that rug or get rid of the rug altogether. I'm on a job at the moment actually, and the lady and gentleman at the house, I was with them not last week, the week before, were in the middle of a job, and they said, will we get a rug, won't we get a rug? And I felt, look, they'll be listening this morning actually, they love the show. I said, a rug kind of might get in the way. We're only after taking up a carpet and putting down a beautiful floor, so we won't cover the floor.
Okay.
The floor is much brighter than the carpet was, so it depends.
Right,
it depends.
Okay, very good. And if you were to choose a rug, how would you go about choosing a rug?
You don't want something that's too small. So again, depending on the size of the room, the rug would definitely go maybe a couple of inches under the sofa, the main sofa. Again, depending on the use the room gets, don't get probably the biggest pile, a really thick one that can become a trip hazard. There's lots of rugs out there now that we didn't even have 5 years ago, that you throw them into the washing machine and you wash them, even the bigger ones.
Are you serious?
So they're absolutely perfect. They're lovely and thin. They give you that little bit of cushioning that you want. They take away the starkness of a room, and I think the washable ones are the way to go.
Right, so without spending a fortune then, you just rearrange what you have.
Rearrange what you have. Make sure you've got enough storage. Make sure you've got enough of natural light and artificial light. And, you might have a rug that you might want to change, and maybe for a brighter one or a different style, and that would make a room look bigger as well. Or no rug at all. I'm a no rug at all person because of my allergies, so I just don't have rugs. Of
course,
except at the front door and the back door and the usual, and they're a brand that you can wash as well, so they go into the machine and they're washed.
Well, you see, I'm always afraid of falling over the bloody thing.
So am I.
Are you?
So am I,
So that's a concern. Where the kitchens are concerned then, and again, if you're on a budget, you might just have a few bob to spend. What about that angle on it, Karen?
Now, I suppose if somebody wanted to get their kitchen painted, wanted to paint their kitchen units, we'll say, friend, this would be your biggest thing that you could do in a budget for yourself. You could buy the paint, do the work yourself, and easily get that done on a very, very tight budget, including painting the tiles behind the kitchen units as well. So that would be a big job that you could do yourself. I would say the paint for painting the kitchen and the sandpaper and all the bits and pieces you'd need, maybe some disposable dust sheets and stuff like that. You buy a lot for €300.
Would you?
And if you were willing to do that project yourself, including the paint, yeah, because for kitchen units you're probably looking at maybe a gallon of primer, a gallon of paint, a gallon of undercoat, a gallon. Yeah, you'd easily do it for 300, friend, if you were doing it yourself. So that would be some place that you could.
Would you do it right, you see, Karen? I'd make a complete mess.
Look, that's the thing about it. The other thing, what could you do to make it look more expensive? Maybe introduce some plants, or some artificial plants, or some plants, depending if you're good with real plants or not. Maybe repaint the kitchen. So they're all different ways that you can change the look, make it more expensive. Maybe buy some very reasonable wall art. There's a lot around for under €50. We spoke about that a few shows ago.
You do advocate for to look at the possibility of a kitchen island. Now, the main row in our house is about the bloody island.
Too big.
That we,
Sometimes they're too big.
There's traffic lights we need around.
We had that discussion before.
Yeah.
So again, if you want, if you're having an island unit and the island unit is always up somewhere around your kitchen units, you need a minimum of a metre either side to get around it. Really 1200 to get around it safely, that you're not banging off it, that you can, if you have stools at one size of it,
pass.
Yes, that you can use and the whole lot. So sometimes people, when they're thinking about redoing their kitchen or adding an island unit, they think go bigger or don't go at all. It's to make sure that the size of the island that you put in there works with the space that you have around it.
Yeah, well, the one we have is like something Charlie Haughey would have bought. But anyway, the bedrooms then, and I suppose to make them relaxing and comfortable.
Yeah, so I think the colour is really important. So nothing that's too garish or too bright, something that's nice and relaxing. Often talk about the colour, subtle. I go to so many houses and say we use this colour or whatever. So subtle is a great colour. Temperance is another lovely one. Earnest, if you're into grey and you're into those very light colours, the colour Earnest, Fran, is really nice as well. Very, very nice. That's subtle, that's temperance.
Okay, and again, if people Google
if they Google, they'll get them. So that those colours would make a lovely relaxing room. Very easy to find bed linen to go with it as well. So that's really important. Right. So nice mood lighting, a nice relaxing colour on the wall that's not too bright.
Storage, Karen?
Nice bed linen and storage.
Yeah.
So a great one for bedrooms is, and I've done this myself, is that I have, we'll say, a three drawer unit that I use for underwear, socks, folded jeans, jumpers, all that kind of thing, and I put another one on top of that. So instead of having the space a little bit useless above it, because I didn't need it as a dressing table, I desperately needed the drawers, I have 6 drawers instead of 3.
Oh, very good.
So the top, well actually the bottom one, my husband screwed it to the wall, and the top one we screwed it to the wall, so there's never any possibility of, anything, any drawer coming out or anything like that. So that's a great way of making more space. And if you do have a bed that you have storage underneath, you can use boxes or different things, and then you could change up your winter clothes, your summer clothes and that kind of thing. But I think most houses I go into, they're begging for storage, Fran.
Absolutely, yeah. But I see in shops there's fantastic storage boxes available now.
There is in all different colours, and they're not plastic anymore, they're different colour fabrics. There's lots available. There's the bags that you can get that you can suction them out with the hoover. I found a box when I was tidying last week that I hadn't used. I said, where can I use those now? But there is loads of storage ideas out there. It's just to get the thinking cap on. And I suppose to talk about the storage again, it was like me putting off going through my presses there for ages until the bank holiday weekend. You'd be surprised how much storage you can find when you tidy what you have, or get rid of what you have. Not get rid of what you have, but move it on. Maybe there's some stuff in the house you can put out in the garage in safe storage that'll be fine, and that kind of thing. And of course, family, friends, charity shop and the whole lot is all our friends.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'll give you a laugh now. So I loaded up a load of my clothes and I put them into bags, and I knew where they were going. I still didn't give them away, and that's 2 weeks ago nearly, because I think when I rummage through them again.
I know, you see, I know exactly where you're coming from there. I want to keep everything.
I think I put that
find it so hard to
in,
give stuff away.
and there was studs on it, never wore it, and I'm thinking what I have to do, and I said, I think I'll take out that white. Because I won't get another one with little studs on it.
Look, you were kind enough to mention the jacket that I'm wearing today.
This fabulous on you.
I had put that out to be given away. And I picked it back up off the floor. Anyway, there you go.
So anyway, the 3 bags are now out in the utility, and I'm going to rummage them again.
Bathrooms then. I mean, again, if we want to make them feel a little bit bigger.
So again, go brighter. You might have a blind up that's ancient, that's old, that might have a bit of mildew on it. Brighten it up. See, can you get a lighter colour? Loads of people, again, storage is a thing in a bathroom. Lots of wall units available now that you can buy, that you can stick on the wall, that you don't even need the floor for. Make sure the ceiling is painted. If you have some walls in your bathroom that you haven't tiled, because lots of people love tiles in their whole bathroom, so it's hard to update those to make them brighter. You can repaint some of the walls if they're not tiled. And of course, again, we're talking about light, so make sure you have good lighting in your bathroom that's bathroom safe. And also, if you have an older mirror, maybe replace the mirror with a new mirror that has the light around it as well. All brighter and nicer, and makes the place look more expensive.
Of course it does indeed. Is there such... I mean, can you get tiles that won't go out of style and go out of fashion in some way?
I suppose tiles are a big thing, because they're costly to do a whole bathroom regardless of the size, even if it's a handy size bathroom. But the thing is, don't go mad, go neutral, go a bigger tile, go less grout in between. If you get a bigger tile, it means less grout lines, so the grout is much smaller if you're getting a bigger tile. But go neutral, go bright. Don't go for anything too exotic that's going to date. I mean, I deal with one particular tile shop, and I'm going in maybe bathrooms that I did 20 years ago, and some of those tiles are still available today, because they were timeless. Now obviously the people that are taking down the tiles that are 20 years old, some of them even 25, friend, they're fed up with them and they want a new change, or maybe they want to take out the bath, or they want to walk in shower instead of the shower tray or whatever, so that's the reason for changing. But I think buy well once with tiles is really important, but neutral is great.
How do you keep the grout looking fresh?
I suppose just keep on top of it. Don't let the mould build up, and of course you can re-grout if you need to, and there is pens out there that you can get to touch up the grout in a lot of the hardware shops and the whole lot as well, but it's not an easy task. But some of the bigger tiles now, the grout line is so minuscule in it that it's much less to keep than years ago. So the bigger the tile and the type of tile you buy, it will mean a lot less grout. And of course there's brands of cladding out there now for bathrooms that I use quite a bit on jobs as well, and it's a slightly cheaper option, definitely a cheaper option, Fran, but you've got no grout lines. If it's put up right, is absolutely amazing, and I'm sure there's a probably 15 or 20 year guarantee, and it's Irish companies that are selling it, and it's a fantastic product instead of tiles.
Very good. We're just about out of time, but one of our listeners wants to know, and it's a very good question indeed, should every room in the house have the same sort of colour palette? Should it all sort of match up in some way?
It's in.
Is that
it's in? Like when I was selling paint so many years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, Fran, you'd have maybe dark green was in, and dark green curtains and the whole lot, and then you go to soft peach in another room, and you might go to yellow in a bedroom, and the boys' bedroom might be blue, and the girls' bedroom might be pink. This is genuine. For years this was the trend, but now it's more, you're going more neutral colours. You're having a story throughout the house. So sometimes somebody might paint their sitting room and their hallway the same colour, maybe a slightly different tone in the kitchen, and maybe then paint all the bedrooms the same colour, but then quite possibly the bedrooms the same colour. Then that gives you the choice to change your bed linen up, especially in the bedrooms, that you're not stuck with one type of bed linen going forward. Because genuinely, how often do we paint our bedrooms? Not often, but definitely a neutral palette throughout, and if you wanted to go maybe a dark green or a dark taupe or something in your sitting room would be lovely as well. But I'm all for, when you hop from one room to another, that you don't get a fright.
You get a fright in our house for all sorts of reasons. All right, if people want to talk to you, Karen,
they can contact me on 086 606 9009. Facebook, Instagram, and website is Interior Concepts.
All right, you're off to do some lovely work now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we wish you the very best, Karen. Thank you for that. News and information is coming up.
Tipp FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slatterysgarage.ie.